Hello. This is just a short video reflection on the Mastermind Week 6 conversation that I had with Shelby. The conversation focused around maybe a struggle that I've been having within my clinical experience, and then also focused around talking about how well I was doing with my mastermind goals and what help that I could ask from Shelby. So this was a very open, kind of vulnerable conversation, and I think it went really well. Overall, I told her that my biggest struggle was, or the thing that I wanted the most out of my experience was to become a more confident clinician and a more confident person as a whole. I know that sometimes I feel like I can come off as very confident, at least to parents and patients, but I have a harder time being confident around my athletic director and the coaches whenever there is a conflicting situation. So I would obviously confidence comes with experience, so that is something that I would like to gain. I also talked about how I was doing okay on my goals, not where I would like to be. I'm a little bit behind. I'm a couple policies behind from the dates that I've set. So I talked to Shelby about how I could improve upon that, how I could better my time with those policies. And then lastly, I asked Shelby to help me with that in a way that, like, if I could send my policies to her, she could review them, because I don't really have the way Francesca is set up. I don't really have a pinpoint person that I can send that kind of stuff to review and get a second opinion on. So that's how she offered to help me, which I thought was really generous. Overall, when it comes to being vulnerable, I thought it went pretty well. I feel like sometimes, though, when I'm vulnerable, I'm hard on myself, which could be considered part of being vulnerable, but uh, I feel like maybe I feel like to be vulnerable, I have to be critical of myself and to be hard on myself. Um, and maybe I kind of am too hard on myself, but it is difficult for me to be vulnerable. I'm always just the kind of person that I just keep things to myself and I work through my problems, and then I don't. If I have to vent, I vent to one person that I'm a good friend with, and that's usually it. Um, I'm very typically aware of my mistakes or my faults or my weaknesses. I just don't always, I guess, in my head, I don't find the necessity to tell people. I just know what to fix and I try to fix it. But this conversation is also, forcing me to be vulnerable has kind of also like helped me realize that, like, maybe I'm not the only one that has these problems or these weaknesses, and then working together with other people from being vulnerable will actually give me a better idea of how to help myself. Um, so yeah, and then when it comes to being a little bit more vulnerable within the workplace, um, I actually am improving on that. I just kind of realized that I started improving yesterday. I realized that I had made a mistake with a certain situation with a patient. Nothing that was bad, just a mistake on my end of interpreting a document, a physician's document, and I was very open and honest about me being the one that made the mistake. And it was not hard. Like, usually it's hard. Usually it's hard for me to be open and willing to admit my problems or mistakes or weaknesses, but it wasn't hard at all. And I think because of that and how genuine it was, the situation went a lot smoother. And yeah, so, but at least with my athletic director, that relationship in itself, I could probably definitely be more open and honest, have more conversations, deeper conversations with him. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the conversation with Shelby. It was almost like a vent session, but at the same time, I got the point. I got the point of the conversation, and now I also have somebody that can help me keep me accountable for my mastermind goals, which is something that I think I really needed. So yeah, I can't wait to do it again. Thank you.